Hey student, welcome back. I'll be introducing you today to the rules of sword. I'll give you an example for each, a hint, and finally a summary. Our first rule here states that if you have a single root of A multiplied by B, this will give you root A multiplied by root B. And here's an example for us. If you're asked to simplify the square root of 18 and leave your answer in sword form, you can simply do this by finding the factors of 18 first. And the factors of 18 can be simplified by 2 and 3. I'll start by breaking it down with 2. And 2 into 18 is 9. Then we have 3. 3 into 9 is 3. Then 3, 1. So if we multiply 3 by 3 by 2, this will also give us 18. And I can simplify this further in indices form as 3 raised to the power of 2 multiplied by 2. And this will also give me what? 18. So what I'll do here is just to substitute 3 raised to the power of 2 multiplied by 2 into my question. Okay, so to solve this question, first I will write down my question again, and according to our factorization, 18 can be broken down to 3 raised to the power of 2 multiplied by 2. And if you look at this carefully, this looks like our rule. And if you have an expression that looks like this, what you simply do is to break it down into individual roots. And this will give me 3 raised to the power of 2 multiplied by a single root of what? 2. Or you can say the square root of 2. Okay? So I just want to show you something. The square root of 3 raised to the power of 2 can be simplified as 3 raised to the power of 2 multiplied by half, or you can write it as the square root of 9, because 3 raised to the power of 2 is what? 9. So if you cancel this, if 2 cancel this root, you'll be left with what? 3. And if 2 go into this 2, you'll also be left with 3. And you also know that the square root of 9 is what? 3. So all these solutions can give you the same result. So all you need to do is to choose any of the solutions to break down this expression. So I will simply use one of the solutions. And what I'll simply do is to cancel out my square root, and this will give me 3 root 2. And therefore, if you are to find the square root of 18, leaving it in sword form, your answer is going to be 3 root 2. Okay, so that's all for the first rule. Now for the second rule, you have a single root of A over B equal to root A over what? Root B. Okay, we have a question here also, and we are asked to simplify a single root of 12 over 1 to 1. So this expression will give us what? Okay, so all we need to do here is to simplify this question according to our rule. And if you have a single root of a division or a single root of a fraction, this can be broken down to the square root of 12 over the square root of 1 to 1. And I love to factorize. So if you are to factorize 12, 2 can go into 12, 6, 2 can go into 6, 3, and 3, 1. So I can simplify this as 2 raised to the power of 2 multiplied by 3 in indices form. And if you are to find the factors of 1, 2, 1, 11 into 1 to 1 is 11. 11 go here 1. So we already know that the square root of 1 to 1 is what? 11. Okay, let me simply substitute my factors. And for 1 to 1, we can still express 12 as what? 2 raised to the power of 2 multiplied by 3 over what? The square root of 11 squared. And so, according to our first rule of Surds, I can break this down to 2 raised to the power of 2 multiplied by the square root of 3 over the square root of 11 squared. Okay, according to the solution we have up here, we can choose this method to simplify our solution. So what I will simply do is to cancel out my root by my square, and I'll be left with 2 multiplied by the square root of 3 over 11. And finally, this will give us 2 root 3 over 11 in Surds form. And therefore, the square root or the single root of 12 over 121 can be expressed as 2 root 3 over 11 in Surds form. And that's our final answer.